85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
So I've been really digesting something that's a serious issue, Andre. It's
Okay.
like a big important thing, and I need you to talk me through it.
Oh, no. Okay.
I need you to go to Oreo.com.
All right. Are we going to talk about the Chromatica Oreos?
I'm going to talk about Oreo ID, and I need to know
Okay.
what you think about it.
But really quick, are you familiar with the Chromatica Oreos? They come right up on this page. The Lady Gaga pink Oreos.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes. It's thieves don't buy them, basically.
So this is okay. This is my thing. So forever, Oreos, it was like you had Oreos, and then they're like, what if we did the double stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right, what if we kind of started doing? We start experimenting, and I would say Oreo for a while had like a healthy mix of like, we'll do golden ones, we'll have some mint ones, right?
Yeah.
And then but now it's like they've like dialed it up to 11 with this Oreo ID, where it's like you can go and customize, like, what kind of Oreo do you want? Do you want double stuff? Do you want sprinkles around the outside? Do you want a freaking picture on your Oreo? Because we can do it. We can put a picture right on your Oreo.
We can do anything.
What is this for? Who is that? Who's buying Oreo IDs?
I'm gonna say I hard disagree with you because I am going through the process of setting up my Oreo ID right now. So what I'm doing is traditional cookie, red center, because I love the red center cookies that they do for, I don't know, Valentine's Day and red velvet and all these different things. And I'm gonna dip it in fudge because I loved a dipped Oreo. No sprinkles because I don't like sprinkles.
Those sprinkles look just disgusting.
You have to add sprinkles. What the heck? No way. Okay, never mind. It didn't make me do sprinkles. And now I can add a photo or design.
What are you going to add? Please add Toby, your cat.
Oh, what? I don't want to eat him, though.
I might do... That is annoying. You have to add sprinkles.
I kind of want to do... No, you can skip it. It just for some reason asks you twice. We could do steal this idea.
Ooh,
I could go back and we could do yellow.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so I'm going to do yellow center, white dip, and then I'm going to do the Steal This Idea logo. And
we will give this away to... We will give a set of these Oreos away to anybody who shares a podcast and proves that they have convinced a new stranger to listen to us.
Hold on, I'm getting to the... Okay, they need to improve the Oreo builder.
So you don't think this is crazy? You don't think Oreo is just like...
No,
insane?
I don't think this is crazy at all. I'm ordering Steal This Idea Oreos. This is going to be awesome. And I like the idea of being able... So what's hard, though, is I wanted to get to the last stage. So let me know if you can. But I couldn't ever get to the price screen. Like, it kept freezing on me.
Interesting.
I'm going to try just picking everything so that maybe it won't. Okay,
anyway, before... I see Oreo ads now, and I'm like, these guys have jumped the ship, man. They are just...
No, you're wrong. This is awesome.
This is awesome.
So you can get a special box with your Oreos for $10 for 5, or it's $2.50 an Oreo with a minimum order of 20 Oreos. So it's not cheap, basically. I mean, this is definitely like a special occasion treat.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to your Oreo ID and put it on auto ship and just get your special custom Oreos every week.
I got to get some more of these.
Yeah. But I think this is a fun idea. I'm bummed that you didn't bring it for good idea, bad idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, well, it's okay. It's just when I buy something on the podcast, I want it to be during Gibby. But I bought Thieves Oreos. Coming soon, we will announce the winner of the Thief Oreo pack.
And we will eat them on our Patreon. So if you want to see us eat them, see them, it'll be live
while
on
we
Patreon.
talk about Harry Potter, which is new Patreon episode coming soon. Thieves.
That's right. All right, Andrew, let's start a podcast.
Let's do it.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal the ship.
Commandeer, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
Will someone like you just steal?
Ideas.
Hello again, thieves.
We're back.
Are back, baby. Back
Steal
at
this
it.
idea.
We are the Steal This Idea podcast. Scott Knudsen, Andre Washington. Andre, tell the thieves who are new here, what is Steal This Idea?
I'm glad you asked. Welcome to Steal This Idea. Steal This Idea is the only podcast where every week Scott and I get together on mic and we share our biggest and baddest business ideas, ranging from apps to events to stores to technology and everything in between. We give away billion-dollar business ideas every week to our thieves.
That's right. I come from about 10 years of sales experience. Andre comes from another 10 years of marketing experience. We know what we're talking about, okay? But the reality is we don't have the time and the means to really just send these, to give these ideas the love and attention they need. So we give them to you for free to steal. Would we like a check in the mail, either publicly or anonymously? Sure, we'd love that. But
Ideally.
We're not going to hold you to the fire in that one.
There's no contract. We would
That's
love
right.
to see any of these ideas in the wild, no matter what.
And yeah, this is I think this is episode 79. So we're almost 80 episodes in. Andre, what of the 80 episodes? We've talked about a lot of them. What's one episode that maybe you might recommend to a new thief to be like, hey, I know you don't want to go listen to all 80, but if maybe check out this one. What's one that
Scott
stands out in your
asks me
mind?
this question all the time, and I like to try and give a different answer every time. So I'm just thinking. Oh, you know what's one I liked is, do you remember Porter?
Oh yeah,
I assume he's still your brother-in-law.
he's still my brother-in-law.
So Porter came on the show and he gave us an idea called Soil IQ. And essentially Scott and I, at the time it was springtime, we were complaining about how difficult it is to plant a garden because there's like soil problems, there's shade problems, there's all these different things that are really hard to measure. And Porter came on the podcast and gave us an idea called Soil IQ, which was published last June. So thieves can go and find it. Go listen to that idea, and it's an idea for learning about your soil in order to plant things in your yard.
Yeah, actually, we're about to start a garden up right now, and I really wish Soil IQ
Timely.
Wish it existed because that would really help me.
Yeah.
Andre, we got a good show today. So I got the big idea. We have a couple other kind of mini ideas we're going to lead up to it. But before we get into that, let's get into our favorite segment, which is good idea, bad idea. What is on the docket today, sir?
I will go first. So Thieves and Scott, go to ldrdates.com. That's LDR as in long distance relationship. Dates.com. LDR Dates says close the gap. Our dates help close the gap by placing you and your partner in the same virtual room. I saw this on TikTok, and this website is it's somewhere between descriptive and not descriptive. And essentially they have a virtual art gallery, a museum, a virtual island. And in their virtual spaces, you can create an avatar and go on virtual dates with your long distance partner.
I'm watching the video clip of this. I really wanted to hate this, but there's a part of me that thinks this is kind of fun.
You think?
I'm gonna be real. Like it is kind of stupid, but
I mean, is it stupid or is this just like kind of like part of modern life now? I don't know.
So what the video I'm watching, it's like, it looks like it's kind of a museum. And I imagine the concept is like, it's your avatar, it's their avatar, you're walking around. And you see it's like, this is a painting from so-and-so, and there's a description below it. And like, it looks like there are a bunch of different like areas that you can kind of explore in this. There's like a treasure hunt, and there's like a garden maze. And I could see, it's like playing a video game with, like
they're kind of crappy virtual spaces.
That's the one thing. It's like, these look like pretty chintzy.
Yeah.
I would love, I wish that something like this existed in the real world, like almost like Minecraft, but like
there are museums in the real world, Scott.
Sorry, not in the real world. In the greater gaming space.
Yeah.
Where basically like Minecraft has stuff that exists in it, but like it's Minecraft first and it's for people who play Minecraft. But having like a big shared space that's really accessible for anyone to go in and to make an avatar and like you have this like really big interesting world that like you could have a date in and people make stuff. This seems like somebody's got their hands on a 3D modeling kit and I mean it looks pretty bad. Looks like Coco Melon, not
It doesn't look good. I will say I think the repeat customer base is probably pretty low. But I mean, so it looks like most of the dates are $6.
Yeah, it's not too. I mean, the price is right.
Which I assume is like a one ticket entry.
Yeah.
Presumably. So I feel like probably if you're a virtual, or not a virtual couple, if you're a long distance couple and you're looking to just do something kind of funny or fun, $6 is in the range where it's kind of worth just trying.
Yeah. Especially if you're like, we are long, like mine as well. Like what's $6? And it gets you talking about stuff and you get to see this big dumb pirate ship and.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I want to hate this, but like I do think there was something there. I think this would be a good idea to steal and do better. I don't totally know. Yeah, I might integrate it into a different platform.
Yeah.
Because you don't need. There's probably stuff on here that you like is not needed. But LDR dates. That's funny.
It's an interesting idea. It's something unique.
Okay, I saw this ad on Instagram, I believe. It's called Stair Slide. This is an ad that probably I would see and you would not see because it's basically it is these plexi plastic, almost like a sled, but you hook them. You stack a bunch of them up your staircase and just build basically a makeshift slide. But they're light enough that like a kid could set it up and then you could like basically break it down really easy and they all stack on top of each other. What do you think of this?
I think it's a good idea.
A little expensive.
However, I was always the kid that when my siblings or my friends were going down the stairs on like cardboard boxes, I was the kid like grumpily standing at the bottom going like, you shouldn't do that. You're going to die. You're going to hurt yourself.
We should do this.
Exactly. Like I was definitely 100% that kid. So now I look at this and it's just, I can't be sold that it's completely safe. Like no way.
So for a 4-pack, which let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 10 stairs get you for a 4-pack that gets you all the way up about 10 average stairs. It's $200. So not cheap, especially because you can go buy like a plastic Fisher Price like a slide,
but not that long.
Not that long, for sure. Not that long.
Yeah,
and those are going to be like $30, or $15 used, and then like a landing pad, which is just a big foam thing for $40. Again.
$200 seems steep for what I'm seeing.
That's what I'm saying. If this was half the cost, if this was $100, I'd be like, you know what? Mm-hmm. I could be talked into this because I have kids I have young boys who love to slide on things. In fact, I recently bought a nugget couch and we intentionally didn't open it until our newest kid was born so that our kids had something to do. And they build forts out of it and they jump off it and they slide down it. So they would love this, but like I just for $200, like I could buy a Switch Lite for $200.
Yeah.
I
would be interested. So one thing I've gotten really into, for thieves that don't know, I'm planning a wedding right now. And you go to Etsy and you look for various wedding items, and a lot of people sell plans, which is to say they sell like the cut list to make something on your own.
Yeah.
And they're really helpful because like you can basically take their cut list and get exactly the pieces of wood that you need, and it makes DIY really easy. I feel like this could much more easily be done in like that category.
Sure. Because
it comes out to $200, it's like I need to make this a little more affordable. Like it feels like this could be DIY.
Yeah, it's like go buy this thing and like attach this thing on the bottom. That's the foot anchors or whatever. Yeah, I agree. That's a good idea. But I do think, I mean, especially here in Utah, I imagine something like this will probably do fine.
Could take off, yeah.
Okay, what's this Indiegogo I'm seeing here?
Yeah, so I hate to bring an Indiegogo because
I know you do.
I'm predispositioning myself not to buy it. So this is the Iggy, Effortless Weight Loss and Calorie Cloaking. Yeah, I heard that right. Calorie Cloaking, build healthy portion control habits with this science-based mindful eating bowl. And what the Iggy is it is a bowl with a hump in the middle to create the illusion of the bowl being fuller. And what it says is if you use their like little portioner which shows you how much starch and how much protein.
It's basically like a little divider that goes in there.
Right in the middle of the bowl. And as long as you use their portion thing and you fill it to their specifications with fruits and vegetables and starches and other stuff, it will be 600 calories every single time. And that is the Iggy. What are your thoughts?
I don't know, Andre. I mean, here's my problem. So in a perfect world, yes, I've got a cooked protein and a side of vegetables and fruit and another side of cooked vegetables and another side of starches that I've made. In the real world, which is the world that we live in, it is just, unless you have no kids and you really enjoy cooking, it's so like even people like my brother likes to cook. He cooks really well. He cooks one big fancy dinner like once, maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
Most of the time you're either eating out or you're eating a 2-course meal, which is like, it's chicken and a salad, you know, and like it's not like you're eating too much there. And if you're eating out, you would never use this. So I don't know, like,
yeah.
Like I look at these bowls like that people have put together. It's like in no world are have people have all this prepared food. They're like, oh man, if only I could just had a better way of portioning this. It's like, no. Usually it's really hard to come up with sides. Like that's what's hard about eating healthy is you have to like, oh, I gotta go skin a zucchini and then dice it and then season it and then cook it for 30 minutes and to remember to do that on top of the protein that I'm making. You know.
Yeah. So are you at all interested in the technology, which is that they've created this bowl that is heavier and looks to be deeper than it is because they add this extra lining wall to the bowl? What are your thoughts? Because I think, so you're right. There are two elements, which is one, the portion control piece. Yeah. And then two, this idea that your brain can be tricked into feeling more full by seeing a more full bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there's something interesting about it. I'm somebody who has good portion control as a I don't work out as much as I should, but I am able to stay skinny because I just stop eating.
Yeah,
you know. But if you struggle with that, then yeah, maybe this might be.
I don't know. I think. Similarly, I don't really feel like I have a portion issue, but I'm pretty interested in this idea, partially because, and Scott kind of said this earlier, but the bowls all look so full. Like they look like extremely nutritious, heavy bowls of food. Wow. And it's because of this lining of the bowl that creates like this really big bowl that always kind of looks really full.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I feel like if I were to use this, I'd feel like a dog. Like, how, you know, they've done all these like creative things to make dogs more satisfied with less food.
Well, this is the lunchbox problem, which is just like, this is cool and all, but once you use it once, then you gotta make sure you wash and clean it every single time. And
yeah, I like this more because it is just a bowl though.
Yeah,
where a lunchbox has like 100 different pieces often that go into it.
Yeah, I just know
I'm out on the idea because I don't believe in this science of, if your brain sees a full bowl, then it will get fuller faster. That just doesn't seem real to me.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting idea.
I would rather just use a smaller fork and force myself to eat slower.
See, that's a good idea. Let's market a toothpick on Indiegogo. And it's just like, literally, if you eat with this tiny little stick, it's really difficult.
It's impossible to eat quickly. Okay, I got one last one here for you really quickly. I really want to try this. So this is brilliant. Feelbrilliant.com. We've talked about tons of stuff like this before. We maybe even have talked about this. But these are feel as great as you're supposed to. It naturally boosts your energy, focus, and mood, all without caffeine or other stimulants. So these are pills that look like big pills, man. And they have pomegranate extract, green tea extract, burdock extract, ginkgo extract. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that apparently makes you feel nice.
Why do you want to try this?
I think it would be fun to all of us take one before we record.
Yeah.
And to just see if it's like at the end of it, like, did you feel any different?
If we could trick ourselves.
Yeah.
What might even be more fun is if we gave Diego, if we could somehow like placebo ourselves. right? Like Diego gives us both a bottle, and one of the bottles is Brilliant Connect, and one of them is placebo. And at the end of the period of time, we each are like, do we think we were on the real thing or the placebo?
That's what I'm saying.
Because of that truly genius idea that I just had, I'm going to buy it for the podcast.
Look, you have a try 1 week for $1. Right? That's the real hook. Is that like
Yeah.
like
I'm
not
wondering how we can pull off the placebo.
I wonder if you could smash it up.
But then it's like, because there's actually this blurb that talks about why it's best in the form that it's in.
Oh, really?
Can you buy like placebo pills, do you think?
Oh, surely.
Well, like on Amazon though?
I wouldn't be. Yeah, you got to think there's sugar pills you could buy. The thing I'm worried about is like with all the stuff that says it's in here, like you got to think this thing like has a really particular taste.
Yeah.
So maybe we got to dip them in chocolate. So then we just
I think we can figure out a way to make the placebo work.
the test.
Yeah, because I've never seen these in person, so I could be maybe convinced that any white pill was this pill. You know, how would I know the difference?
They look big right now, and maybe by the time we actually get this, they'll be whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, I really want to try it. I think it'd be fun to try. So yeah, Brilliant Connect. We'll let you know, thieves, if this is just a bunch of crap or if the placebo effect works. Okay, that's gonna do it for good idea, bad idea, Andre. Let us now move to the main event here, if you are so inclined.
I am so inclined. But before we move on, so as part of the discussion that we just passed, I looked up placebo pills on Amazon. And boy, is there an interesting market on Amazon around placebo pills. Well, so what's most interesting that's marketed, and I mean, by and large, these, when you search it, you're going to find mostly people that are selling capsules so you can repackage your own medication. But right up top, you'll see Zebo. Zebo, honest placebo pills designed to help you create a safe experience on your path to well-being. And Zebo is $20 for a 45 pills that are just placebo, for the idea that the placebo effect is real and the act of taking the pill will make you feel better.
Interesting.
Is that not fascinating as just a concept?
Huh.
That's what it says. Zebo is a unique solution to promote well-being. We created a branded pill-taking experience.
They don't tell you what's in. They're like, trust us. This will make you feel better. Just buy.
No, it basically says nothing. No, it's clear that it is nothing. If you go down, it's cellulose and gelatin.
Like, but
so
just by
it's
taking
literally
this,
nothing.
Just by taking this,
you will feel better.
Well, now we got to try that too.
That is bizarre. Anyway.
Okay, Andre.
Top review. Sorry. I keep interrupting. Top review says best placebo pills. How does that work? Like, these are the best placebos ever.
I love these placebo
That is crazy.
pills.
Anyway, that's Zebo, the honest placebo pill.
That's hilarious. Okay, Andre, I've got two ideas. One of them is smaller but great, and another one is a little more fleshed out. So we'll save that one for the end.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first one.
I wanted to make a joke like, so Scott is 6 foot and I'm 5'6". I hope.
In shoes.
So I felt like we could have made a joke there about how, like, I'm smaller but more significant and you're taller. Anyway, let's hear your ideas. I'm rambling.
Okay, so I recently was in the hospital with my newest born son, Ben. And as anybody who's ever been in a hospital knows, it is not the most comfortable of places. If you spend any time in a hospital.
So I've spent some time in hospitals, never for the birth of a child yet.
Right.
Fingers crossed. Well, not really. I probably... Anyway.
You don't need to get in your personal life.
I don't plan on me or my fiance having a child.
Andre is a surrogate.
Physically. Okay. Exactly. Anyway, what are some of the reasons that it's really uncomfortable to have a baby or to be in the hospital?
So one is that because it's so clinical, pillows are awful, blankets are awful, hospitals can only be so comfortable. And so because of that, yeah, both for the for my wife who is giving birth, like it's like we got to get out of this hospital as soon as we're in there. You know, what's the quickest we can get out? We want to sleep in our own beds, right? I ended up bringing my own pillow and blanket, and even then I was still uncomfortable because you're like on this really stiff couch. So it got me thinking. We pitched an idea on this show many moons ago called Flight Stop. And for the thieves who haven't listened to Flight Stop, what Flight Stop is an idea where inside of an airport, you can come and on your flight to JFK or to California, instead of like bringing a neck pillow and a blanket and a switch and all the stuff, you just rent it basically from landing to departure, right? You could rent kind of kits of things, get a nice loaded switch, some nice Bose headphones, a nice comfy blanket. You pay $50. Mm-hmm. You have this nice, awesome, and instead of upgrading to first class, you get something from Flight Stop, and it's a lovely experience, right? And there's lots of other things to talk about in that episode, but it got me thinking, why stop at the airport? I would have paid money to rent a comfortable experience inside of the hospital. I would have rented a Roku stick to watch movies because we just had basic cable.
Yeah. I
would have rented a Kindle for my wife that was full with books. I would have rented, all sorts of things. Like a nicer pillow than the one that I had. My kid, not on this pregnancy, the last time my kids came in for a little bit, I would have loved to have like a little kid distract my kids, type of thing. Yeah, I just think there's a big market in that. And I know like you've taken your cats to vets before. Like I'm thinking through all these places that you could have these basically like comfort and convenience kiosks.
Yeah.
At places where people are spending long durations of time and
typically just waiting.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea. And so Flight Stop, like I said, is like one of my favorite ideas of all time on the show because it's so naturally intuitive. Like people hear it and they immediately are like, that is something that I really wish existed. And this idea gives me that exact same feeling, which is like not too long ago, we were waiting for a COVID test, which like COVID tests, that's a whole different topic,
sure. Yeah.
But we were waiting. Ultimately, we waited 3.5 hours for a COVID test. Like we had made an appointment, but we got there and they were like, yeah, we're just backed up. It's going to be 3 hours, but we were out of town. So we had to actually just wait for the test. Like we couldn't just go home like we would here. And we literally just sat there like talking and like on our phones and really uncomfortable, like in a waiting room. And how much better it would have been, honestly, just with like a blanket. But even bigger than that is like how much better would it have been if we had a switch? Like that would have been baller, right? And it's just like, it's such an obvious additional revenue stream. And what I think about for hospitals though, is like every hospital already has a spot for a freaking Flight Stop. And it's the crappy hospital gift shop full of like kitschy stuff that no one buys.
Yeah. Just like
rip that out and put a, like whatever this
bears.
is. Yeah, exactly. Put a Flight Stop there. And put blankets and switches and Kindles and iPads and all this stuff to make people more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then because it's all now part of like this unified hospital experience, then when you are discharged, just like turn it all into the nurse's station and somebody comes around every day and brings it back to the front area. The only hole I can really think of is like that hospitals might not want to because of germs, I guess. Which is like, you know, but by the same token, hospitals are fine with you bringing in whatever you want from home, right? Which could be carrying any number of things. Where it's like, if all this stuff goes through the hospital system, they can disinfect and sanitize everything a lot more effectively than people that are just like putting together gym bags from home, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think of these little comfort, maybe you call it comfy house or something like that, but I think you think of places because there are even things like hotels where like think of those times where you've had to stay on a work trip and you didn't bring the things you wanted. So like even if it's maybe you skipped a flight stop in the airport, but in the hotel kiosk or outside or nearby, at the Enterprise Rent-A-Car or whatever, like you just have these amenities, these things you can rent.
It's actually crazy that hotels don't capitalize more on this.
Right?
Because especially in like the more value hotel range, so like your
Best Western.
your Best Westerns, your
like
Days Inns, your like low level Marriott's even, where, because, you know, if you go and stay at the Four Seasons, like you're going to be annoyed if they're trying to upcharge you for a switch. Like that won't make sense.
Yeah.
But at some of these like lower level, you know, value hotel chains where they totally recognize that they probably aren't the best hotel in the area.
Yeah.
The ability to just like quickly rent out like a pillow, you know, a memory foam pillow or something like that. Or, you know, the room doesn't have like a deluxe cable, so you want to rent a Roku stick or something like that.
Yeah.
Like all of that makes a lot of sense. And also hotels are another place where you actually spend a lot of time just waiting around, like waiting for a flight, waiting for check-in time. Like there's a lot of room to improve that experience too. One thing that we've never really nailed down with Flight Stop or with this idea is like price point questions.
Yeah.
And I wonder, so I mean, you were just at the hospital, so I don't know. Let's say that the only thing that they could do was from your intake to your discharge. How much would you have paid to rent a Switch? Let's say that in a world where you didn't have a Switch that you could bring from home.
And I think when in Flight Stop I talked about like it's hard to put a price on individual things. Probably the way to do it is to package stuff together where you have like the kit with 6 things in it, or 4 or 5 things in it.
Yeah. So then maybe it's easier to do a blanket and a pillow and some slippers or something.
Yeah, and I think that being around $20, you know, where you're getting it for a couple of days, like I think I would have been fine doing that. I think if I knew I was going to be in the hospital for several days, and I was able to get a Switch and kind of electronics package and a couple of things, like I think I would for sure pay $40-$50 to like have that stuff, you know. Especially if I didn't have a Switch. Like I have a Switch, but like, you know, probably most people don't. And
or most people, like, for example, I have a Switch, but realistically, what I even want to do in the hospital is like watch a movie. And I have an iPad, which is convenient enough to watch a movie on, but I don't really have any movies downloaded to it.
Yeah.
And I'm in a hospital where the Wi-Fi is like not going to be the best in the world. So the ability to rent an iPad that already has some movies on it, a la like Delta and stuff like that, is going to be a big value add on just bringing my own iPad.
Yeah, and there are things like that where it's like, hey, rent the iPad for $10 and it's got all these movies on it. Yeah. Like that, I think anybody would sign up for that. So I think there's lots of things like that. Anyway, Comfy House, Flight Stop, whatever you want to call it. I think there's just a much bigger market now that as I kind of think through and have gone through an experience where I would have paid for more luxuries than I had access to.
It's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
What do you have for me?
So I saw this on TikTok, and this is like the king of all underdeveloped ideas, but I know that you'll have a lot to contribute on this. So there's a place in Tennessee, and this was the only place that I could find like this. Have you ever been to like Korean barbecue?
Yeah.
So it's like Korean barbecue is so Korean barbecue though, like as a restaurant experience, like where they have a grill and the table and you like throw meats and stuff on it. Yeah. Well, so now you're talking about teppanyaki, which is a different thing.
No. I know what you're talking about, where it's like, it's a personal grill.
Yeah. You're making it yourself. Like, so that's a really fun idea, right? Like truly very, very fun. But I saw on TikTok today, there was a place in Tennessee that had it was like a brunch place, and you could cook your breakfast on like your own little griddle at your table. It was built into your table, just like Korean barbecue is built into your table. And I was like, this could be like a major revolution in like the Sunday brunch area. Do you disagree?
No,
you're making your disagree face.
No, I'm just trying to think through it.
So, for example, they bring out the menu, and so if you haven't done Korean barbecue before, essentially they bring out this menu. It has like 100 different things on it, because what they do is you order like the teriyaki beef, and they bring out a plate with a bunch of raw teriyaki beef that's been marinated, I'm sure, in like a huge vat of teriyaki for however long. And you then take it and you put it on the grill and you cook it for however much time until it looks done, or until there's usually maybe like a card that says how long different meats take to cook. And then you pull it off and you eat it. And it's fun because you're like cooking your own food, and it's fun because you can order these like little a la carte type items. So what I picture for this like cook your own breakfast on the griddle at your table is much like Korean barbecue. I don't want it to just be like the cheap $20 Oster griddle that just like sits on the table. It's built into the table. It's a good experience. And you get a little menu and it's like chocolate chip pancakes, blueberry pancakes. And then they come around with a little like cute pitcher of pancake batter of your various order, and you put it on and you order sausage links, and then you put sausage links on the griddle and you let them cook a little and you play around with them. You order bacon and you put your bacon on your griddle. Then you cook it all, and you, as it finishes, you take it off and you eat it. And then if you're still hungry, you order something more. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think that would be awesome.
So is this what you're saying? This breakfast thing, does that exist? Or
so I read that there's a place in Tennessee that has this. That was what I saw on the TikTok. But the TikTok was like very nondescript, and when I searched for the place, I couldn't find it on the internet.
Interesting.
So I'm sure that it exists, but I think that there's room to bring it to your local market for sure.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously, in a perfect world, it would be so wildly successful that you could franchise it. But for thieves out there that love brunch and want to like bring more experiential food type options, the griddle at your table, I think, is a really cool solution.
So what's stopping you, Andre, from doing a similar thing with hamburgers?
I mean, the only thing that I would say about like, why don't you do this for every food is just that.
Oh yeah, not every food.
Yeah, I mean, it's like burgers are more complex and they create more smoke, and it's just like a different cooking process. Where pancakes and like bacon and sausage,
you can cook breakfast food inside.
Yeah, and also they cook fast, right? Which is part of what's fun about Korean barbecue is it's thin strips of meat that cook in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and
that seems to be the sweet spot where it's like fun and it's not like you're doing too much of your own cooking or too much of your own work.
Yeah.
So I feel like brunch is a good sweet spot for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I remember one of the first ideas I had forever ago when I realized I was an idea guy was I had a buddy who worked at Cold Stone, and I thought to myself, Cold Stone is cool, but I have a hard time seeing Cold Stone lasting forever.
You said that?
I said that. I know.
Why wouldn't it last forever?
Well, I so in my mind I was like, yeah, like ice cream it's good and all, but like I stopped going to Cold Stone, as I imagine most people do. You go to Cold Stone because you've never been there. You go a few times, then you just like kind of slowly stop going to Cold Stone. Like most people don't go to Cold Stone regularly because it's like kind of an experience to go, right? Yeah. And once you've done, it's like, wow, ice cream is ice cream, right? Anyway, my thought was it's surprising to me that Cold Stone doesn't double the size of their stores and basically have Hot Rocks and Cold Stones. And it's the same process where basically you're doing smash burgers. And you say, hey, this burger, what do you want? Onions, great, smash them in. What do you want this? Okay, jalapenos, awesome. And then they make the burger for you. And then, now you slide down to the Cold Stone and then you do the same type of thing, right? And then you're having lunch there also. And you can get lunch with a small ice or whatever, right? And so this just made me think of that, which is like, experiential dining, I think, is definitely on the rise. And the things like teppanyaki, and we've pitched ideas.
We've talked about the need for more experience.
Yeah, no, and I as I think through it, I really do think that if it's like, I want this and this and this, great. Here's the hash browns. They put them down. You get the big metal flipper, and then you get like a little bottle of cooking oil or whatever, and some butter. And then you're kind of like in charge of making sure that it like flips well, and you're the arbiter of your.
So I found the restaurant, and it's called the P Funky Griddle in Nashville, and I sent a link in the chat because, Scott, I want you to go to it and click the video in the upper right corner. The P Funky Griddle, it's clearly like very small. I think they maybe have like 4 tables. It's a small place. But watch that video and tell me that this is not the best idea ever. So it shows them like making pancakes on the griddle, adding mix-ins to their pancakes, making a little omelet on the griddle.
A little French toast action.
This is awesome. I want this so bad. You can make your grilled cheese on the griddle. You can make French toast on the griddle.
Yeah. So P Funky Griddle, probably the worst name of a restaurant.
Yes, a truly horrible name, but a truly novel concept.
And it's a cute little. Yeah, this is like a small. Looks like you can maybe choose to or not to have that. But yeah,
Like,
I do think.
yeah,
so,
I want this so bad.
Yeah, and those are kind of small. It's kind of meant for 4 people. I do think having bigger tables, having it be like a cool experience, and again, especially where you throw in a little dash of what Teppanyaki offers, which is like, hey, if you do this, your waiter is like giving you tips on like how to flip it, how to flip it up in the air, and like, oh, watch this if you do this. This is a way so that your eggs don't stick or whatever. Yeah,
I don't know. I wanted you to be more interested in this idea, to be honest, because the more I think about it, the more obsessed I am with this. Like, it makes me honestly want to go out and buy a griddle tomorrow. I start engineering a table for it.
I cook on a griddle almost every morning. I cook a lot of breakfast.
You do?
Yeah.
So you get it.
I get it. No, I.
So wouldn't it be fun if you could? I can't even begin. So Scott and I used to work together. How fun would it have been if you and me and our team could have gone
and made
like done a little griddle experience together? That would have been awesome.
I often opine that I hate that there's not a good, like a fancy breakfast place anywhere nearby.
No,
there's just like Original Pancake House,
which is great.
That's good, but like I want like a nice gourmet breakfast joint.
I agree. Original Pancake House was the first place Abe and I went once restaurants opened up again.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a curveball here. I was going to pitch one other. I think I'm going to save it because I have another idea I want to talk about really quickly. Because it is a workshop, but it's something that we could use in what we're doing right now.
Okay.
And I think there's an angle here, and maybe it's stupid, but so
Scott is the king of sizzle.
I know.
He makes me want the idea so bad that even if it's horrible, I'll celebrate just because I know what it is.
So there are warehouses and office buildings that are often vacant, right? Whether it's for lease, right? Like I drive by places like, hey, we got rooms for lease, right? And there's a pioneer in this space of capitalizing on places that are for lease that are short term, which is Spirit Halloween.
You're right.
So this is the idea. So it's a service called Squatters. And the idea is this: if you have a flexible enough business, you could come in and say, hey, I'm not going to sign a lease, but I'm going to squat in your space because the moment you do sign a lease, we'll be gone within an hour, right? And so they're basically leasing out their space for pennies on the dollar because otherwise it's just sitting there. Yeah. And the trade-off is, hey, we at a moment's notice are evicted. We can't put anything up, but like for small, nimble operations that just need internet and they need indoors and need some space, I think there's an angle here for a service where they just basically are facilitating these businesses saying, hey, we'll keep us up to date on your inventory. And we have all these clients who like a podcast or like a small start, and take what kind of these new WeWork operations are doing where they're, it's a shared workspace, right? But they are trying to get you into an agreement. They got a whole space there, but like there's tons of office space that are just like vacant. And so I think there's room for a squatter type business where you can get in and out. You're there for weeks at a time. You might be moving around.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
This is a good idea. And one of the reasons that it strikes me particularly is I was surprised. So I think today I work completely from home, but formerly and before the pandemic, I had a co-working space. And what kind of annoyed me about it was that it was a 6-month agreement. Like it wasn't just like come in, come out. And I think about this all the time I think of it actually related to like homelessness, which is like not the best business model, but it's like there's all these vacant hotel rooms and all these vacant like heated spaces in winter that nobody is using. Yeah. Which kind of annoys me. But I like the idea, which is just like, and I think I understand why you're saying it, which is like this podcast often needs a space to be.
Well, and we're nimble enough where it's like,
yeah, we could be anywhere, but we just need a spot.
And
so
I don't want to pay $1,000 to like get a 1-year lease. I know that's what they want.
But we don't need that and we just aren't even sure what the future holds, right? From a space perspective. So how cool would it be if there was what are we calling this idea? Squatters app, and it like just lists a bunch of places near you and like the daily or hourly rate, and you could just like click book, and you understand that it's only for X number of time or only until something else comes up, but until then it's yours. It's like, that's a really efficient way to use space.
Right?
Yeah. And then it's like, so what they need to do then is like integrate with these like RFID lock systems to instantly provision you a key when you book so that you can just like hold your phone up and get in. Yeah. Like that would be so seamless and so awesome. And it's dumb that nothing like that exists
and
with how much vacant space there is in this country.
I really do think you could find places that are often empty, or they go through long periods of time where they're empty, and you are brokering agreements with them. Again, much like Spirit Halloween, they're saying, hey, we don't want this all year. Give us this vacant building for 1 month of the year.
And then we'll be out. Yeah.
And they'll be out, and they get that space for really cheap.
It's a good idea.
And I think you could even do it in places like that where squatters goes in and they set up tables that are like desk working spaces. They have lockers and they have whatever, locked areas or something where it's like, hey, you can come in here, and our whatever is that we can pack everything up in less than a day. So once it's ready, it's done. But you're getting paid something other than just nothing.
Yeah.
We'll pay your energy bill.
It's a good idea. And
Squatters.
Like, I know this podcast would pay for such a service. And I have a feeling that there are many podcasts in America
They just need a studio.
Service.
They just need a space that they can go that's not their house.
And that's our business, but there are like billions of businesses, or a lot of businesses, not billions, that need just like temporary space or need space for a day or a week or a night.
And the rise of WeWork and WeWork type things, Kiln and Spaces and whatever, like, is only a testament of that. Of like, people just need a place to do work, for short periods of time or whatever.
It's a good idea.
That's Squatters. That's gonna do it for the episode, Andre. I think we had a good one here.
I think so too.
Where can the thieves contact us?
So the very best place is www.gostealthisidea.com, where you can find links to our Instagram, our Twitter, and everything in between. You can follow Scott and I directly on Twitter at AndreWatcher0 and at ScottTheAmazing. Or you can send us an email, idea@gostealthisidea.com, with your thoughts and feedback on this episode, on any of our shows. We would love to hear from you. If you love and support this podcast, we'd love to see you on Patreon. Patreon is where Scott and I post quick 20-minute exclusive episodes for our biggest fans and thieves. And it's a great way to just show that you support what we're doing here for $1, $2, $5 a month. It's really, really easy. But if that's not really up your alley, you can always rate us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple to show your support. And if none of those options serve right, then please at least share our podcast with a friend, with your mom, with your dad, with your brother, or on your Facebook, or with your coworker.
Yeah, sharing us is one of the best things you could do, of just like, this is a cool podcast. That organic reach is super helpful for us, and that helps us find new fans, new thieves, keeps the lights on, and we love making content for you guys. So that is going to do it for the show. Thieves, we love you, we appreciate you, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.
Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.